All right, up and running. That is excellent. Now, if you remember the first video, I had this same issue where it's got these weird like arrow lines on the side here, right? And I thought something might be wrong with the monitor, and it determined to be the contrast. So the signal coming from the Pi is different from the signal that was coming from the game that was originally in this cabinet. So I know I can fix that just by adjusting the contrast on the monitor. I see red, green, blue colors. The text looks good. The text looks sharp. I'm liking the video there. You can hear the audio coming through the speaker. You see there. Mind, this cabinet's all opened up. The front's open, the back's open. There's no coin doors, so that will probably give it like maybe more bass when it's all enclosed. So here's what we've got going on. We've got the AC. Turn the switch on. Power goes here. Power goes here. Hot and neutral. Field ground goes to the switcher. Hot and neutral then go to the isolation transformer. And field ground goes to the isolation transformer. Isolation transformer comes back, powers the monitor. It comes back and powers... Whoa! Sorry. Depth perception when looking through the camera is not that good. Goes to this AC fan, which is fairly quiet and seems to be putting out a fair amount of air. Sounds good. I think that was the right choice of the three fans. Well, the two that were actually not busted. So the fan seems to be working. The Raspberry Pi obviously booted. It didn't boot up, shut down, and boot up like it did the first time I tried. So again, hopefully that's because it recognized there was an audio, something hooked to the audio line maybe. And then we've got our 5 volts coming off the USB of the Pi into the audio amp, and then the audio amp's going through the left input only to the speaker. Let's see what we get when we turn the speaker up. Alright, well that's full volume. So that is not going to be very loud. Again, when this is closed, there's plexiglass in the front. That hole has got the credit switch in it, and the back doors are closed. This vent hole you're going to be getting sound out of. And that's about it. Just what else comes through these small openings in the cab. So hopefully that's loud enough, because I don't know that there's anything else I can do to get that any louder. Again, screensaver mode, I can't take it out because none of these buttons are wired up to anything. That's still yet to do. These two buttons here aren't wired up to anything, so they won't do anything. But yeah, it looks like at least, I don't know about running a game, but at least everything plugged in this configuration does work. And then all I have to do is put Velcro on the back of this stuff, secure it into the cabinet. This, like I said, in the bottom. This, if I'm going to keep this or sell this or something, would probably go best on the side of the coin box thing here. If there's enough room without it bumping into this, I could shave some of this lip away. And then drill a slot out of the back panel and have the volume sticking out the back. Sound will also get through this opening. So it should come through that front opening, and also I would imagine some sound will probably come through the fan opening. But I mean, it's not super quiet, it's not super loud. But I think that's probably adequate. So yeah, there we go. test of the system seems to be proof positive, apart from, like I said, the voltage problem. I've got that amp cranked all the way up now, as loud as it goes, so it's drawing as much current as it's going to. So if I start a game that uses a lot of CPU, is it going to draw too much power and have an issue? That would be about the only thing. At this point, I think that would be a pain in the neck to cause a rethink of what I'm going to do. So yeah, pretty cool. This monitor, I did not flip the yoke wires because it's still mounted upside down, right? The chassis is up against the roof of this thing, whereas the one I took out, because I've got it sitting like this on the chassis, like a normal monitor would, I had to flip the yoke wires to get the image turned right side up, but this one's upside down because this is how this game originally was set up, with the monitor upside down, so the yoke wires were basically flipped when they were installed in these games, I'm guessing, to get them to be right when they're hanging upside down like this in these cabinets. So some monitor tweaks and Velcro and just kind of cramming things in there and deciding how tidy I want to make the wiring, and if this is like a real actual project, I need to fill this hole, sand the panel top, a couple scratches I did when enlarging the buttonholes for these buttons to make it look better, and then new locks. This lock here is a really long one to work on this lock bar, and I've only got 2 of those that came with these cabinets, and I can pick them in a second to get them to work, but I don't have a key. I thought that the back door lock here was also a really long one, but it's a shorter one. I actually have a lock with key that would fit that, but not fit the front. The coin box, can't honestly remember what size locks in there, and I want to pull that out right now because I might knock everything onto the floor. But hey, there we go. Power on. Things are working. Sounding okay. Again, it's, you know, what do you expect with that cheap speaker? You could probably put a better speaker in and get some better sound, but it is what it is. Minimal cost system here. I had the Pi, I bought the fan, I bought the extension power cable, I bought the audio amplifier, and everything else in here was in here, or stuff that I already had. I had the Pi. I bought the RGB Pi. That was the most expensive part of this project. That was, what was that? About 50 bucks, I think, shipped from Spain. Would I get that again? Probably not. I would probably, if I did this again, and even if I was going to make this permanent, might just remove that and use RetroArch or something, and just use a USB encoder. My main thought about this was the lag. Your controls are going directly into the Pi, so it's going to eliminate, I would assume it would eliminate the lag that you would get with a USB encoder. Not that they add a ton of lag, but I just figured it'd be a way to bypass that. Keeps it kind of all here instead of a separate USB encoder. And the hardware OS designed for it to work with the arcade cabinet. I wouldn't have to mess with custom settings on the Raspberry Pi to get it to output to a CRT. The advantage of this thing is it's supposed to be, the software and the ROMs and everything are already set up properly, so you don't have to spend a bunch of time adjusting things. But that also means you're locked into their ROM packs, you're locked into their hardware and OS. So, not sure if that was the best idea, but hey, it does get me up and running quick, so there we go. I did not check those voltages coming off the bridge rectifier here to see what they are. But other than that, and tying stuff down, yeah, that's really happy with that. Cool.